Chapter 25. Tuesday late morning. Mac walked back into the kitchen at 11:30, took off his jacket, placed it around the back of the chair, and said, "Now I'm hungry. Where is the omelet?" She laughed. "I've replayed that video 3 different times. I'm still not sure I know how to do this." "Come on. Get up there," he said. "It's not hard." Under his watchful eye, she carefully sliced the bacon, taking 5 times longer than he had the day before. Every time she tried to apologize, he brushed it away. "Forget about it. Do it right the first time, and you won't have to endure the learning curve again. You'll get faster eventually." With onions and bacon simmering, and wasn't that something to turn on the burner and have it heat up, she thought this was the best thing since peanut butter. She added the mushrooms, then he showed her how to scramble the eggs, which she did. She removed all the ingredients from the pan when they were done, cracked in the eggs, stirring vigorously, and when that was ready, she laid the rest of the ingredients on top, along with some grated cheese, and looked at him. "Now take the flipper and gently fold it in half." Knowing this was kind of an initial test of her cooking skills, she gently eased the flipper under one side, totally amazed when it lifted without a sticking problem, and carefully folded it over. And sure enough, it was beautifully golden on the surface. He picked up the lid, handing it to her. She plunked it down and grinned up at him. "I did it," she cried out. "Almost," he said. "It's easy to get cocky right now and burn it." Her gaze locked back down at the pan. "How long do I leave it like this?" She chewed on her bottom lip. "Because I sure don't want to mess it up now." "Not to worry," he said. "Maybe give it another 30 seconds. I'll get the plates." He took plates, knives, and forks to the table. When she reached her count to 30, she lifted the lid and sighed happily. "Somehow you got it onto the board without breaking it." "You could cut it in the pan too," he said, "if that's easier. Just take the spatula, find your middle, and push down, separating it gently." Deciding that was probably easier, she followed his suggestion, and soon enough had 2 large pieces of omelet. It took a bit to get them out of the pan and onto the plates, but when she was done, she'd never been prouder. She turned, sighed, and handed him a plate. "Brunch is served." He laughed and gave her a kiss on her forehead. "I'll be very happy to eat it too." They sat down and enjoyed their meal. She couldn't believe it. "It tastes like an omelet." She almost got teary-eyed over this. Instead, she took a dozen pictures. "I'm sending these to Nan. She'll be absolutely thrilled for me." As soon as she did, Mac looked over and said, "You realize you sent pictures of both of our plates, right?" She looked up at him and said, "Yes, of course. I made them both." She looked confused. "Why? What does that mean?" His gaze lightened. "Nothing. Except for her penchant for betting on our love lives. Now she'll know I was here this morning too." She sagged in place. "Oh no. What did I do?" He just chuckled. "Don't worry about it. This was cooking lesson 1, and you did very, very well." She rubbed her hands together with a smile. "You did it much faster and had extras to go with yours. But I made something on the stove." She hopped up to double-check that the stove was off, patted it with her hand. "Well done, Doreen.